Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This will be my WandaVision episode 5 breakdown video. So spoilers, we will be talking about past episodes too and where the show could go from here. So we start the show in the 80s with Tommy and Billy crying and Wanda tries to use her powers which just don't seem to work on the kids. Is that coincidence? I'm not too sure. And in the episode, Vision notices there are actually no children other than their own in Westview. So that begs the question: does Wanda have some morality against controlling children in Westview? Hopefully, we'll find out more about this in later episodes. Agnes walks in, or Chipper, and her character is so interesting because she just seems to know about the show, and I think she has done for some time. We know that we only see around one episode of the show, and that there is in fact a lot more episodes, we just don't see them. So it's definitely possible Wanda has told Agnes everything from her powers to Vision, and Vision is so confused about the encounter with Agnes, and Wanda tells Vision she has a high libido, and then later Agnes says she's hard to tame. Now, in the comics, Agatha Harkness, the supposed character that Agnes is based on, has a cat called Ebony that can transform into a massive panther. So, could this be a nod to that? I have no idea, possibly. Then, through some strange method, it almost looked like a witch brewing a spell. The kids just stopped crying, and now all of a sudden they're now age 5, and Agnes is none the wiser. I think she says they grow up so fast. So there's still a question mark over Agnes for her actual true identity and what part she plays for Wanda in the show. So briefly, I just wanted to talk about the title sequence, which I loved. I thought it was so funny and ironic, showing baby Vision, and I'm still in belief that Wanda's trying to just give Vision these memories of a life that he never had. Cue Monica Rambeau. She mentions that Wanda's voice was in her head the whole time, and that she felt like she was drowning, realizing that it was grief. So I think that the series is following the 5 stages of grief, and we will see maybe anger at the end of the show, and that's when it all just explodes. So after that, we see that Monica Rambeau's scan isn't right, something's wrong with it, and I was thinking that one of Monica Rambeau's powers in the comics is energy absorption. So is this the first signs that she's got new powers now? Hopefully, we'll find out in later episodes. It's now confirmed that Wanda is the victimizer, and it was mentioned during one of the sword briefings if Wanda has any aliases, which was answered no. But we all know that her actual alias is Scarlet Witch, and I have a hunch that by the end of the show, we will hear one person say it, and my money's on Jimmy. I think Jimmy will call her Scarlet Witch. Now, if you watch my previous video for my episode 5 predictions, you know I predicted that we see Wanda taking Vision from Sword. And I also mentioned that Tyler left the Westview base to check whether Vision was taken from Sword. I feel that that's now been written off because we know she took him 9 days ago. So why did Tyler Hayward leave the Sword base when he found out Vision was in this sitcom? Could he be relaying all this information to Nick Fury or Abigail Brand? Back in Westview, we see the kids with their new dog Sparky. We hear Wanda telling the boys taking care of living things is a big responsibility, which I thought was quite funny considering she's literally controlling an entire town and she's also controlling a dead robot. Cue Agnes. Vision is becoming more aware of the strangeness of Westview and realizes that everything happening just isn't a coincidence. It's on cue, the perfect timing for everything, which I'll touch on in the video later. Agnes walks in with the doghouse, and then within maybe 2 to 4 minutes, the kids have grown to age 10 this time. And the kids only seem to grow in front of Agnes, which I think suggests Agnes has some influence on aging. Now, we know in the comics that the character Agatha Harkness is really old, yet in this, Agnes is relatively young, so it's a long shot, but I think Agnes has some sorcery over aging. Back to Sword, Darcy and Jimmy tell Monica the kids have aged again, and we find out the kids are actually Wanda's and not somebody else's that she's stolen. We hear the start of the plan to drive the truck into Westview, something we've seen in the trailers, and we also hear Monica talking about getting an aerospace engineer that's up for the challenge. Now, again, a big long shot, but this could be Rhodey. We recently heard from Don Cheadle, who told us he's appearing in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so he potentially could show up for this show too. Darcy's now called the energy field the Hex, which I thought was quite fitting, considering Hex means, cast a spell or a magic spell. And one possible reason for the hexagon shape, which was questioned in episode 4, is that the hexagon shape is the strongest shape possible, which could relate to the hex Wanda has on the town to be really strong, similar to what Loki had on Odin. We actually get a callback to Endgame as well, with Monica and Jimmy saying Wanda could have killed Thanos herself, and Jimmy saying Captain Marvel could have too. This seems quite odd to me, if I'm honest, because did they watch Endgame like we did in the cinemas? How do they know? Next, we see Sword email Vision, with his colleagues literally reading it out like a cult. It was super spooky. I think this is off air, by the way, not part of the show. So whoever's controlling the show or editing the show, whether that be Mephisto or even just Wanda, I don't think they actually saw it. So Vision finds out that Wanda is actually controlling the town, and later in the episode confronts Wanda about it, which I'll talk about more later in the video. In this episode, we also find out what happens if you put a period correct item inside of Westview. Nothing happens to it, so this allows them to send in the drone, which results in Wanda coming out of Westview to confront Sword. Now, I would have put money on this being like an episode 7 or something, but she actually comes out, and if you notice, she actually has her Sokovian accent outside of Westview, and mind controls the sword guards to point their guns at Tyler Haywood. So her mind control powers are super strong at the moment. And just to note on this, we still don't know where the sewer guy is. The guy that went in his hazmat suit, went underground, came up in a beekeeper costume, and then has just disappeared. We have no idea where that guy's gone. So hopefully we'll find out where that person's gone. We get the advert for Largo's paper towels, a nod to Captain America's Civil War when Wanda killed all of those people in the office building, which brought in the Sokovia Accords. Now, if we're taking into account all the other adverts and the importance they have to Wanda, I do think we're going to see Thanos or a callback to Thanos in one of the upcoming episodes adverts because of, what he did to Vision. So I could be wrong, but I definitely think there will be a callback to Endgame because of how important that time period was for Wanda. On the way to find Sparky, their dog, we hear the postman saying that Wanda won't let him get far. And I do find it odd that some people have some like different version of their mind control. They're able to say things that kind of highlight the fact that Wanda is in control of their reality. We later find Agnes holding Sparky, who's unfortunately died, and the kids try and get Wanda to bring him back to life, with Agnes amazed, which really confused me because she seems aware that they're in a program, and Wanda is so open with the way she uses her powers. She's seen the children grow up so fast, yet she's amazed that Wanda can do that. You know, is she playing dumb in front of Wanda? Does she need Wanda to bring one of her relatives back to life? She's defo playing a game, but she mentions Ralph again at the start of the episode. Who is Ralph? We've not seen Ralph yet, so she's defo still got a question mark over her head. Cue the end of the episode. Again, if you watched my previous video, I predicted that Wanda and Vision would actually have a fight, which resulted in the appearance of Quicksilver. I definitely believe that Mephisto is behind this. As soon as something starts to go wrong, something interferes. The kids age into 5 when Vision got confused at the start of the episode, then the kids age into 10 when Vision's confused again in the middle of the episode, and then at the end when Vision's confused about his life, Pietro appears. Someone is pulling the strings to keep them in Westview. I love the bit where Darcy's realised they've recast Pietro. I thought that was quite funny. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have anything you want to add, make sure to comment below. And if you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more TV and film. Just to add, because they didn't release episode 6 this week, I will be doing a predictions video for episode 6 sometime next week. So make sure to check that one out when I release it.